If those posts that were reblogged do not affect you in any way, shape or form, then therefore your kind of opinion on the situation is going to be a form of bias because it doesn't really affect you, so why would you even care? And therefore it would be easier for you to consolidate and move on with matters like this. But if it does not affect you, please close your alligator mouth and call it a day. Please, that's all I have to say. Because I've seen too many people saying, you know what, she's apologized, she's grown up now, she was 15 then, she's 22 now, it's all good, whatever, X, Y, Z. But these people are from demographics, are from communities, are from ethnicities, races that aren't even affected by what she said. So why would you care? Because the bullet didn't hit you, child. The bullet done missed you. So you wouldn't be hurt. So therefore, it would be easier for you to move on from something. If that clarity can't be seen, I feel like I need to just reiterate that message because that is something that is very clear when it comes to this kind of video. So Camilla the Rat has been exposed for very vile kind of posts in her past, and this definitely seems to be very shocking and interesting at the same time. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. If you haven't already, click that button for daily and consistent content. Head over to my Instagram, Murad_Murali, and let's get into this video. Although it may be quite hard for some people to do so, and I do understand that this is obviously a very, very sensitive topic. A quick disclaimer, please do not use or send any hate towards the individual mentioned within this video, although this individual within itself clearly has no clarity when it comes to herself and comes to lack of accountability and excuses, but we will get into that in this video. Please do not send any hate. I just feel like it's now part of it's something that I do for the satisfaction of myself, that when I do videos on people and I review topics and sensitive stuff, it's just best to put out disclaimers, and I just feel like I should be doing it also. I started doing it because I saw other people doing it on their videos. I think a lot of the American channels, there's one called T-Spill. I think they do it normally before any topic, and I feel like it's just a very formal and professional thing to do, so why not just do it? So that kind of inspired me, if you guys are wondering why I'm doing it. Now, please do subscribe and head over to my Instagram, Murad_Murali. We do have a lot of information to get into. This video might be quite long because obviously a lot of you guys, so many of you have been really asking me to dive deep and kind of speak on this issue, but I really wanted to consolidate my thoughts, my opinions on what actually is going on right now so that we can get some clarity on the situation from a proper perspective. But at the same time, this is obviously very sad and shocking. Reason number one is because one of the individuals in her group was Normani, and although I believed people said that tweets that she made about Normani whatever were just fake or whatever, irrespective of all of that, what you have made on your Tumblr account and what you were doing, of course it's going to affect Normani, and that's why I feel like it's just quite sad, to be honest. But before I get into this, what I really want to do is get into her apology. When I was young, for those of you who don't know what's happened, for those of you who are tuning into this video and have no idea what I'm talking about, Camilla Cabello from Fifth Harmony on X Factor, and she's now obviously gone solo. Recently, a lot of people have discovered some, very racist kind of reposts that she would make on her Tumblr, and she is now apologizing for it, and people are not really forgiving her or really feel like they should forgive her. This is what her apology was. When I was younger, I used language that I'm deeply ashamed of and will regret forever. I was uneducated and ignorant, and once I became aware of the history and weight and the true meanings behind this horrible and hurtful language, I was deeply embarrassed I ever used it. I apologize then and I apologize again now. I would never intentionally hurt anyone. I regret it from the bottom of my heart. As much as I wish I could, I can't go back in time and change the things I used in the past, but once you know better, you do better, and that's all I can do. I'm 22 now, I'm an adult, and I've grown and learned it, and I'm conscious and aware of the history and the pain it carries in a way I wasn't before. Those mistakes don't represent the person I am or a person I've ever been. I only stand and have been stood for love and inclusivity, well, clearly not, and my heart has never, even then, had any ounce of hate or divisiveness. The truth is, I was embarrassedly ignorant and unaware. I used my platform to speak out about injustice and equality, and I'll continue doing that. I can't say enough how deeply sorry and ashamed I am, and I apologize again from the bottom of my heart. I think what I wanted more from this apology was for her to just simply say, I take full accountability. I think when it comes to apologies and when you're talking to people, when you've affected demographics, communities and people, in general, when you're speaking to somebody and you've done something bad to them, for you to just say, not only did she did say I'm sorry, but to just add that part of, I take full accountability for everything that has taken place. That in itself allows the people, or allows the person to be reassured that, you know what, everything is definitely my fault because I am responsible and I have taken full accountability, number one. Number two, the other part that I really wanted to dive deep and get into is that if these posts that Camilla said if these posts that she reblogged do not affect you, do not affect your community, are not associated with you, then you are in no position to forgive this individual or reflect and say that this person has apologized and everybody now should move on. The post, I'm not going to go through them and what she said because they were quite, severe from the reblogging and what she did. She was 15, 16, and at this time she was on the X Factor, I believe, with Fifth Harmony. So if you can sing a note, child, and if you can damn well go on a damn stage, international TV, then you should be able to have the awareness and clarity of what you are reblogging and what you're doing. And if you don't, then of course I find that to be quite concerning and just quite weird. Somebody said her and Shawn Mendes are meant to be together because Shawn Mendes was doing the same thing, child. He was obviously apologizing as well. And even Bieber was apologizing because he said some stuff. But I think he was younger than Camilla. I don't even know. But this is an issue when it comes to, communities who are subconsciously raised in kind of racist kind of communities, be it white or be it POC, from what I've seen, are raised in these kind of racist mentalities and they don't even know it. It's subconscious to the point where normalization occurs, and that is the key word for this video: normalization. The behavior that she was displaying on that blog, whatever, that was normalized behavior within that site, within online. We see it everywhere. Like, for example, we see people displaying forms of hatred for religions or races or whatever, and we see everybody else joining and doing it. Therefore some people feel they want to do it as well because of normalization, and you have that kind of group kind of dynamic effect and stronghold as well from a psychological effect that in itself can be very powerful as well. So there are several different elements to this, but I do feel like her apology wasn't that great. Yes, she was apologetic and she said, what, I messed up, I'm ignorant, I'm uneducated, you grow and you do better. Cool, I like that part. But at the same time, I just feel like I would have wanted you to have said, I take full accountability. And I also would have wanted you to said, I'm not using my age as an excuse when I was younger. The part when she opened up saying, when I was younger, child, you were 15, 16, you kind of knew what you were doing. So what I would have liked for her to have said is, I was younger, but I should have known better. In reference to the fact that you still have sense at 15, 16. If you could just reiterate that, because it seems as if you're just saying, child, I was young, I was ignorant, that's cool, let's go chapter, let's move on. That's the kind of deliverance that's coming off. And of course, people are not forgiving her for it, rightly so. Most definitely, I feel like some people will take the time to go over this type of stuff, but I do find it interesting how people moved on from Shawn Mendes more quickly with his stuff than hers. Now, I also believe perhaps hers is a bit more brutal, but I do believe that maybe there is a gender bias in here because Bieber was saying some nasty stuff as well, child, very horrible stuff. But at the same time, I do feel like maybe that could be in there somewhere. But the stuff that was going on, it's just a whole cesspit of just, wow, like crazy. Like, it's just a bit. And she even admitted that is her blog. If she didn't admit that was her blog, then of course you can't really go off that's being her post, whatever. But she has admitted that is her blog, and people seem to be very upset and irritated online. And if I think those posts targeted towards Black and East Asian communities, also Black communities, I believe. But if you are part of these communities, especially the Black community, then you aren't entitled to say, oh, it's time for us to move on now. It's time for us to move on. Like, she said, sorry, like, it's all cool, we good, ain't nothing wrong. It does not affect you. So why would you feel hurt? Like, it's common sense. I don't understand. It's common sense. I think the main points that I wanted to brush up on, and I'm glad that I did, was just that her apology wasn't that amazing or great, and also just the fact that communities and people that are affected by it think that it's okay to just move on like that. Now, of course, everybody can live and learn in life. If somebody does something when they're young and when they're wrong, they should be held accountable for it. I feel like, of course, people can develop, people can grow, people can become better human beings and better people. That is a possibility, most definitely. But people's anger and aggression and irritation for what she's doing isn't coming from that stance of, we're going to hold her accountable for life, or she's not racist, or like she's like a clown for life. I think from what I'm seeing, people's aggression and irritation and the fact that her lack of accountability, lack of understanding, and her apology was quite weak as well. And I hate it when you've done some stuff, just come with a correct, good apology. Like, you know what I mean? Just come correct, properly. Now, this is obviously going to be part of your past. It's been exposed, it's been addressed, and that is going to be part of you because that's what you consciously decided to do, Miss Camilla, and it is what it is. You have to take that on board. And I feel like you decided to move on from stuff, or people saying that you should. I don't believe so, but at the same time, I'm not part of communities that were targeted on here, so I can't dictate and speak for communities. I simply cannot do so. I highlight what I see, what's going on, suppression, oppression, irritation, and I have to regurgitate voices and talk about issues that matter and bring some coverage to them, but you can't speak for people and how they should feel. You cannot, because it's simply very rude to do so. Let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to this topic, this very controversial topic. What are your opinions? What are your opinions? Comment down below. I read all the comments. I want to know what your opinions are. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree with me? And why do you guys disagree? And if anybody does disagree or have other opinions, then of course, write peacefully so we can all engage in a peaceful debate, a natural, nice conversation about what's going on, so that we can obviously know, what's going on. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know. Do subscribe. Click that button. Subscribe. And I'll catch you guys soon for another video.